Hey guys, this is Vicki with Southern Crossroad Creations. So we are going to duplicate this tonight. I actually made this Easter that represents the tomb and the three crosses last Easter, and I actually just leave it out all year long. So I wanted to make a miniature version of this with you guys. So what I did is I found this little dome, it's plastic, at the Dollar Tree. So I thought it was really cute. And then I found these little pots, these little clay pots at Hobby Lobby. I got some sticks from the yard, a stone, and some pebbles from my flower bed. This super moss right here is wonderful, apple barrel black paint. And so the first step you're going to do is you're going to paint your clay pot inside and outside. Now I will say these clay pots, because they don't have anything on them, a sealer or anything, they really absorb the paint. So it did take me 2 coats of the black paint. The first coat actually worked, but it looked very thin. And so I went ahead and did 2 coats on that. So the next step you're going to take is a piece of floral foam. Now I had this as an extra piece, but you can just cut, actually Dollar Tree has this floral foam, and you can just cut a little piece off. You don't need much to put on your little tray there on the base. That is for your cross that we're going to make. Okay, now the pot is going to represent the tomb. And so what I did is I just hot glued that piece of foam right into the on top of the base. And then I hot glued the clay pot right on the base as well. Now, I will give you a really quick tip. Do you see how I'm putting that dome on? Each time you add something, you really need to check your lid to your dome, because if you get too close to the edge, the top of the lid actually goes inside. It doesn't go on the outside of that base, okay, if that makes sense. This moss right here, y'all, I absolutely love it. The only place I've been able to find it is Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure like Michael's has it. Walmart does not. I have checked multiple times. At our local, yours might have one, but it has a sticky side. Now, when you're going over a round item like that, you're still going to need to use some of your super glue, your hot glue, but it does form really, really well. And I love this moss. So you're going to cut that to fit the clay pot. Now, don't get overly excited about, all of the black being covered and all that, because we're gonna do something here towards the end that you won't even see the lid or the front part of that pot. Okay. So obviously this is personal preference. You can use whatever thickness, just whatever sticks y'all have. Just use whatever you have, whatever you can find. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hot glue a little piece of twine to the back side of your stick. Then you're going to take and place your stick on the front. Now I did go ahead and put a little dot of super glue. I don't know why I keep saying super glue. Sorry guys. A little dot of hot glue. There you go. Right on top of that stick there. And then you're going to crisscross the twine and kind of make an X. So when you go over under, you're going to go across the opposite side. I actually got backwards there, and so I started doing it over and under. There you go. So it's going to make a little kind of decorative piece actually, but it's pretty useful because that's what's going to hold your cross piece on top of your other stick there to make your cross. Okay, then I just took a toothpick and push the hot glue on it, and look how cute, y'all. So this is why you have to have that floral foam, because it has to have some way to stand up. So I took that back out, and again, try your dome, make sure that your stick is not too wide, and excuse me, and then go ahead and hot glue your stick right into your floral foam. This would make a really great project, especially if you were trying to teach your kids, your grandkids, the true meaning of Easter, and it just kind of helps them have something visual. Okay, this Spanish moss right here is the green Spanish moss, and I took some of that and put it around the base of the cross. I wanted it to be the same color as the tomb, and then we will use some of the brown moss towards the front. So I wanted to kind of have it some, decorative, aspects and character to it. So I took these little pebbles and I'm making a pathway made out of stone around to the cross. So it goes from the cross to the front of the tomb. And then again, make sure that you stay back away from the edge so that way that you can get your dome back on there at the very end. Now, the rock that I initially set out, but look how cute that's coming out, y'all. So this is the brown moss that I'm going to be using towards the front and around the sides, and you'll see me do that. But I wanted to say the rock that I initially was going to use was too big. So once I got it, I didn't hot glue it in place. I just kind of sat it there, tried to get the dome on, and it would not go on. So I had to get a different rock, and I'll show you the different one here in just a minute. Once you get all this in there, you will need to trim and kind of, give it a haircut a little bit just to get it back. Now, to cover the front of the tomb, you're going to take some of your green moss, and I just made a kind of a circular piece, and then I'm just pressing it on there with hot glue. Now, you're going to go back and you're going to trim all of this up to make it look, uniformed and kind of, neat. So you're going to I kind of sped up the video a little bit just so you can see. You're just going to trim it all up, and that way it doesn't look all kind of sporadic. And I love the color variation already coming together. Nature is one of those things. It's just everything is all different shades, and so there's nothing really, the kind of quote unquote matchy. You just want it to look, really like nature. Okay, I want to give you some options here. So if you don't want to use the stone and you would rather have, if it bothers you to have something more uniform that actually looked like it covered the hole, then take one of your pots, turn it upside down, trace it, and then I just took the same black paint that I painted the pot with and went ahead and painted my cardboard piece. So this is going to be our stone for our tomb. Now, I decided not to use this. I'm more, nature kind of, so I wanted to kind of keep it, earthy with the actual, rock. But I want to give you options here. So I took some brown and I just kind of sporadically put it on the black. And then it kind of, looks like a stone. And that's how it would look if you went ahead and put it, a regular cardboard. But I wanted to use the actual rock. Now, obviously, this rock is not going to cover that hole, but it's just for, purposes of creating how the angel rolled the stone away. But look how this is coming together, y'all. Okay, I had to use a placemat. I tell you guys to get these every spring. They are out right now at Hobby Lobby, so make sure you grab them. We have done so many crafts with these placemats. This is kind of a rice paper. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create some little white kind of flowers that are in a field. I did not do stems or leaves or anything like that because there was enough green in there, and all I did was use that rice paper and make it look like a little flower in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to untie the rice paper, and then you're just going to cut little strips in it to make it look like petals. And then I just took a toothpick and kind of folded them and pushed them down, and then cut that piece off. And then you're going to just poke it wherever obviously you would, like to have a flower. Now you will have to kind of spread it out a little bit more once you get it in place. You'll notice as I try to get this in there, the hot glue actually got stuck to the toothpick and kind of pulled it back out. But you're just going to poke it right back in and then just fluff the edges out, and it looks like a flower. And then I went ahead and did one for the back. And then obviously you could do as many of these as you chose to do. For time's sake, I just went ahead and did 3 of them and put that back there in the back. Now, I also want to show you one last thing that I wanted to do, and I wanted to create a crown of thorns. So I have done some of these before, and they come out really sweet. So what I did is I just took twine and put it around one of my fingers, and then you're going to take this and loop it around, and it's going to create kind of like what you would see, kind of a grapevine, like a grapevine wreath, but this is just going to be made out of twine. I mean, obviously you're not going to have the thorns or anything, but it kind of representation of what was placed on Christ's head. So once you get that looped around, then you're going to just hot glue that last little bit in place. And then once you get that completed, then you're going to actually hot glue it to the top of the cross. But y'all, what a representation this is to show anyone who actually comes into your home. And I just think it just is such a sweet reminder of why we celebrate the Easter season and how much our Lord endured for us, each and every one of us. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being on my page. Again, if you need supplies, just message me supplies. And for more, you can visit SouthernCrossroadCreations.com. Thanks, guys.